What if I told you there's $400,000 to $600,000 sitting in your brokerage right now? Money you've already earned but haven't collected. It's not hidden in some complicated financial loophole. It's trapped in what I call the cap gap. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to get it back. If you've been a real estate broker for any length of time, you know this truth. The bulk of your profitability comes from your middle of the road producers, not your superstars at the top, and certainly not the agents barely doing a deal or two. It's that solid middle tier that generates most of your margin. But here's what's happened over the past 3 years. We've been in a historically low transaction market. In fact, transactions in most markets are at a 30-year low. And that means your middle of the road agents, the people who normally generate your profit, are now struggling to do business. When they struggle, you struggle. Most brokerages today have a cap structure. Your compensation has a split that accelerates at a specific gross commission level. Maybe it's 80-20 to a $50,000 cap. Then it moves to 95-5. You know how this works. But what happens when your agents don't reach that cap? What happens when their gross commission falls short of the contribution that they would have made if they hit their target? We have a name for this condition. It's called the cap gap. The cap gap, quite simply, is the amount of money lost when an agent doesn't cap. And here's the thing. You don't have just one agent who hasn't capped. You have dozens. In a low transaction market, you might have dozens more than usual. Let me give you a real life case study. Last year, I had a member calculate the cap gap on their 185 agents. Now, this was a highly productive company. Their average productivity was over 15 transactions per person. But that number is misleading because in a low transaction market, you often have a few people at the top doing tremendous business and a lot of people just doing some business. When this broker calculated their cap gap, it came to over $600,000. Think about that for a minute. $600,000 in lost margin. Imagine if you could help those agents become more productive and recoup that cap gap. That would result in an additional $600,000 in earnings, money that would fall directly to your bottom line. Now, that sounds like a fairly simple concept, doesn't it? Take your agents who haven't capped and help them cap. But there's a strategic approach to making this happen, and I want to share 3 specific steps with you. Step number 1, calculate your cap gap. List all of your agents and beside each name, put the company dollar that would have resulted if they hadn't hit their cap. Then total that list. That number, that's your opportunity. That's what's on the table for 2026. Step 2, create a productivity improvement plan. Help those unproductive agents become productive. I'll talk more about what this looks like in just a moment, but this is really where the rubber meets the road. Step 3, and this is the tough one, establish a minimum production standard. Below this standard, agents cannot work for your company, full stop. If you're prepared to allow non-productive agents to remain with your brokerage, you have no hope of recouping the cap gap. Now, I can hear the objections already. But Wayne, these agents don't cost anything to keep around and, well, who knows? They might do a deal. Here's the truth. Keeping non-productive people always costs money. It creates aggravation. It sets a standard in your company that it's okay to do nothing. In a high transaction market, keeping non-productive people is an acceptable strategy. Somehow they'll bump into a transaction and put money in your bank account. But in a low transaction market, this is almost impossible. So let's talk about that productivity improvement plan, or PIP as I call it. Your PIP only needs 2 criteria. First, weekly prospecting targets and accountability. I learned a long time ago as a real estate broker that people who prospect succeed and people who don't prospect fail. I only want people in my brokerage who prospect and drive business. It's that simple. Your PIP should outline clear, specific prospecting activities, number of calls, number of conversations, number of listing presentations. And then you need accountability, weekly check-ins, no exceptions, no excuses. So, why would you embark on this strategy as one of your cornerstone initiatives for 2026? At Inner Circle Broker Coaching, we've implemented dozens of cap gap strategies. The average lift in margin was over $400,000 in company dollar. In most cases, there were no additional fixed costs and very few variable costs. So almost all of the money fell directly to the bottom line. But there's another benefit I want to share with you. You've heard of the 80/20 rule, right? Well, let me teach you about the reverse 80/20 rule. That's where 20% of your agents cause 80% of your aggravations, and most of those agents are your non producers. Implement the cap gap strategy, and you'll not only improve profitability dramatically, you'll improve the overall morale of your office and your own happiness as the owner of the company. The cap gap in your brokerage isn't a mystery. It's immeasurable, it's fixable, and it's costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars right now. If you want 2026 to be the year you finally recoup the lost margin and maximize your profitability, the next step is simple. Book a call with us. On this call, we'll calculate your specific cap gap, identify which agents represent your biggest opportunity, and outline exactly how you can implement a productivity plan that actually works. Don't leave money on the table where your competitors are capturing it. The brokers who act now are the ones who win. Click the link, schedule your call, and let's make 2026 your most profitable year ever.